everybody. Thanks for watching. For people who tuned into the live the other night, appreciate you guys coming in and staying up late for that live. We got into a lot of information on there. But, I was talking about the tariffs and everything like that. A couple of people probably misunderstood what I was meaning by being excited about the tariffs. So it's exciting for people who understand what's going on. And the thing is, one, we were going to be left with a very difficult time going forward, because without any type of deal or movement with trade with China, the markets stay where they are. Now, if you're a person that's highly invested in stocks, if you're trading in crypto, any movement in the market right now is good, especially with stocks going down. So the excitement was mostly for that, because you guys got to understand. We understand, 90 days, the 10% and everything like that. Not too much was really lifted or given or what have you. But the fact is, there's talks, there's movement. You see the market went up in a lot of areas because there's actual deals being done and stuff being talked about. We know that the U.S. had already did a deal with the U.K., short, small deal, but it's good for both economies. So again, this is important because, obviously by them not getting a long-term deal done, there's still going to be some skepticism moving forward. There's still going to be a lot of businesses that can't really take that risk. But what this is going to do for major businesses and retailers or what have you, one, it's going to assure for us that there is products on the shelves moving forward, which is important. So for the people that's worried about it being bare shelves or what have you, we should at least be okay for the rest of the year because of this. And hopefully a longer deal gets done later on. So, through Christmas and, holiday seasons or what have you, it shouldn't be no more worry about it being a run on the supermarket and, there being low in stock for things, right? Because what's going to happen throughout this 90-day process is a bunch of businesses are going to flood their warehouses, which I talked about in the previous video when I said they were already doing this. And they're doing this because, one, there are places where you can store goods where they are free from tariffs, which, is under government watch or what have you. But there's places that you could do this at. There's facilities that exist, and people have their own facilities where they can warehouse and house things, by the boatload. So what's going to happen now, one, with stocks going up, with the ships being, back out there moving, shipping costs will go up for a lot of people that's importing, because you can imagine right now the ships are full, they're backlogged, they're backed up, and there's going to be a lot of movement happening. So it's exciting this time because a deal is done, even though it's a short deal, even though China makes it seem like it's nothing. And it's more like a political thing with Trump, but there's actual movement. We're not going to know for sure until we see something more concrete and on paper and signed. But for the business confidence being the way that it's been and things going up as quickly as it went up, I believe it's legit for now for, the 90 days. So sometime the end of August, we'll have to go and revisit all this if a deal is not done before then. So I expect stocks to go up, but not too crazy. What people are hoping is that there's a long-term deal done and this doesn't have any real, consequences down the road. But for now, this is good because of course, when you're dealing with stocks and especially with crypto right now, there is, the news is a big deal. What's being said by the president, what's being said by major companies and corporations is a big deal when it comes to stock. Just on this deal being done or semi-deal or talks or what have you, stocks shot up. A lot of stocks rebounded just because of this. And this is what happened. So I believe, as I said before, talked about this, what was said and everything that's been going on has been, done so to lower the stocks so that these major companies can buy a lot more at a low price. If you have the power to do a press conference and drastically lower the price of a stock, then go on ahead and buy a large quantity of that stock that you just lowered with your, report. that's a big conflict of interest when that's being done, especially for a person that has the power to do so. But we've been seeing this. So it's something to look at. Again, I think a lot of people should be happy about this and, everything that's going to probably come out of this. Again, what Trump signing the executive order to basically lower prescription costs, something they're going to have to do anyway, because the tariffs on these medicines being made overseas is super high. So they struck a deal, where they can do this. So again, it's going to be a time where people can really take advantage of what's happening if you understand what's happening. I think a lot of people who understand and know you guys are going to be able to make a lot of money out of this, as I've been talking about. So that's what it's all about. And something had to be done so we don't go into the summertime and go towards the holiday season with all of these companies and these brands and stores, what have you, being low on stock. So they're going to stock up. They're going to bring in a lot of stuff. They're going to warehouse a lot of stuff. They're going to probably, be smart and go ahead and warehouse and bring in a lot of things for Christmas, holiday season, or what have you, to have merchandise there because they don't want to lose that money. And they're going to protect their companies. So again, certain things happen that kind of give you an understanding that something like this is possible. One of those things, when I talked about before with GTA 6 being pushed back, that lets you know something, because that game is going to largely involve crypto. So they're going to want something to be done before they really bring that whole thing out. We've seen with the deal with XRP, the settlement with the SEC, basically making it almost regulated. You might as well say that. And they're going to say it's not officially, but you can almost say it's the first regulated crypto, because now there is a definition. There is a statement in what XRP is, as far as it not being a security on the public exchange, right? So we had all that going on, which is a big move for XRP and Ripple. And, Ripple basically being able to use this to go ahead in the global market and make, get deals done. This is what that's going to do. So since there is some type of language as to what XRP is officially with the SEC, then now that kind of gives them like a ticket to go out there and make moves, knowing that other businesses can look at what the SEC said about, Ripple and XRP, and they can kind of get an understanding of how they can move forward with XRP. So it's a big deal, and we expect to see a rise with XRP because of this, which we have. So this isn't so much about, Trump and a major victory going forward, because if you're in a society, you understand what I talk about and what this means for us and what we're trying to do. So again, you guys got to understand, any movement right now is good for the markets. And this is what, if you're preparing for, the worst, this is what you want to see right now, because now it gives you more time to get money together and get, to eat off of this. And without there being a deal, even in this capacity, with us waiting and everything being dragged out and stuff being hoarded and, companies not having, consumer confidence, it's tough for any type of stock, any type of crypto market right now, which is why we haven't seen any major jumps. And then here it is now because of this. So something to look at, something to understand about more, and we got to look and wait until all this unfolds and see what's really going to be real with the whole deal. And of course, a lot of people rightfully so skeptical about it. People just think it's a political stunt. People don't like China's, explanation as for what it is. Them basically saying, hey, we just basically agreed to keep talking. But there has been said to be actual numbers involved in all this and stuff being done and concessions or what have you. The biggest thing, there hasn't been any real movement, right? And what people really want to see is movement, something being done, and officially, what do we get back? Are they going to give us back the de minimis rule, right? And the minimis rule is basically saying that, stuff that's under a certain price, I think it's $800, they can't really put no tariffs on that, but they can now. So, the de minimis rule not being reinstated, that's also a red flag, because it's like, well, damn, if importing stuff so cheap, why do you want to put tariffs on it? Trump is not playing, man. He is serious about getting these companies and corporations to come back to America and build, and whatever that means going forward, which again, I talk about, we know that they sticking with this. So anything we can get right now is good for the market, for growing your stock and seeing crypto rise and what have you, and understanding what to do with this knowledge and information and how to, generate wealth from it. So talking about the de minimis rule and how that affects a lot. I know a lot of people had questions about what is this going to do for drop shipping? What is this going to do for bringing in goods from China? And as I talked about, you're still able to get stuff from China. China has warehouses in America. Not only that, if you have the Shopify course and everything, if you watch the video, you see what else is there on the importer and where else you can get stuff from. Shein is they get a lot of stuff from China, but it's also, they have American-based companies and factories or what have you, warehouses, I should say. And there's also other companies that's American-based on the importer where you can get stuff from. So it's not going to really affect you guys. There will be tariffs, of course, but like, you're not selling nothing crazy, over $800. It's going to be a small amount. A lot of people are confused about that, but it's going to be a small amount of money, which is going to lead to a slight increase in your wholesale price that you're going to be paying, not out of pocket, not up front, of course, once the product sells. The same way it has always been done. So it's not nothing to worry about. Stuff's still coming into the country. You're still going to be able to get stuff in. It's not going to be a big deal. So I know a lot of people had a lot of questions about getting the Shopify, Amazon course and everything like that. And it's always, like I said, people talk themselves out of success. And it's just, again, I'm living proof of what you can do with this whole thing. I think the course speaks for itself and everything you can do with it. But the biggest thing, as I said, is going to be advertising. That's where the money comes in. So as I show you guys in the course, for the people who's doing well and everything like this, you guys know. So show you guys how to advertise through Facebook and how you can use Shopify itself to advertise. But there's so much more. This is only the beginning of it. So using Facebook and using boost posts and everything like that is for social media. You can also advertise on YouTube, as I've shown you guys. You can also pay X if you want to, but you can advertise in many different ways with social media, of course, for free. And then, of course, you can pay, which is, of course, the best and better way to do it. But it's so much more past using Facebook and using the algorithm because there's AI now, right? So, you have Allison AI and you have like a lot of major companies. Google use Allison AI, right? TikTok use Allison AI. It's a lot of major companies. Nestle, a lot of companies that use Allison AI. And then you guys will think to yourself, well, I'm not going to be able to afford that. It's not super expensive at all. They have a plan for every single budget on how you can basically find your target audience, how you can put together the right promotional plans to target the right audience and everything like that. But here's what a lot of people are not thinking about. You guys are not thinking about global business. You're thinking in terms of what you know and what you see and where you get your products from, and not thinking about having a drop shipping company where you basically import stuff from everywhere. You're global, right? So you got to understand their links and what's popping over here is not the same over there. So they're just worried about the products. You guys are worried about who's selling the products and where it comes from. You guys are worried about getting shit from a popping link or a popping website, right? Or a website that everybody knows about and everybody's going to or what have you. It's not the same. It's about the product. I want what I want. I'm gonna get the product or not, right? So they got to think about overseas, which is where I talked about before, the bulk of my sales on my sites come from. So, because once you use Allison AI, right? And you also have Simplify, which is what I use. Simplify is very good. I think it's the leading software in this space. And then you have Vibeco, right? So you have other platforms and tools that you can use to generate advertising better than Facebook boost posts, because they're going to actually help you put together campaigns and help you find that target audience, not just on social media, but all over the world, right? So again, these are the people, when you're talking about a product, it pops up on your phone. When you're talking about a product, it's on your timeline. It's using Google to the fullest. is using AI to the fullest, and they're going to be able to get your site and your products in front of the people that's actually looking for it and show you how to customize your advertising for what you're selling to get it to people that's actually looking for it, instead of wasting all that advertising on people that's just trying to, play some video games or trying to fucking look at some porn or what have you. So your product is going to get to the people who actually want it. And that could be multiple things for you if you have a site with a variety of stuff that you're selling. Now, if you have just baby clothes or women's clothes, it's easier for you guys because then it's just, you have your target audience right there, right? You know exactly who you're trying to sell to. So it's easier for you guys in that sense. Like if you're just selling baby clothes or makeup or what have you. But if your site is a variety site, then you target more people. And that's good because a person that's looking for baby clothes might also be looking for women's clothes or shoes or what have you. So you're able to get all that stuff to them using this very powerful AI tool to target these people globally. Don't think about people just in the US and saying, okay, they're going to hate on me, they're not going to buy from me. You got to think about being global and having people all over the world look into your site to buy exactly what they're looking for, right?